No, that's why I did that. Yeah. I know you won't be long-winded because you ain't got it.
No, they're a glorified independent company right now. They are nothing more than Impact on steroids. They don't have Will Ospreay, right? They don't have Flip Gordon. They don't have Marty Scurll. They don't have these guys, right? So this is their time. It's just like when Lex Luger showed up at Mall of America, dude. That was like, holy shit, man! Game's on. So the difference is it's not a war thing. To me, it's not a war thing. I think they're both gonna prosper from this, and you're gonna see promotions like Evolve, which has Paul Heyman's protege, move up and fill that NXT spot on the WWE network, and you won't really. I mean, that's why I'm wearing this Briggs hat. That's why you're gonna start seeing guys like Anthony Green. You're gonna start seeing guys like JT Dunmore. You're gonna start seeing guys.
Did we lose him?
What happened? Did we lose him?
I think he went off. He went off screen because he started screaming his gut out right there and
yelling. Dude, JP was calling. No, I just long story short, dude. I'm watching AEW because they're pulling out all the stops. What about are you guys same or not?
I'm NXT.
I'm
okay. Same thing though. Why? Why? I mean,
there's more. Did we lose him again? I think we lost him.
I think you did. I think JP's fucking it up right now.
What were you saying, Josh? We lost you for a second.
It's okay. Why? So I've been NXT day one, and just because I wanted to see it, I loved it, man. That's why I have the network. It's not for the pay-per-views. It's for NXT. It's for all that shit. But why? You're a WWE guy like me. I'm gonna admit I'm a WWE guy. We said it from day one. We've all talked about this before. It's not a AEW versus WWE thing. It's an AEW versus NXT thing. We're all in agreement of that.
Which, by the way, we called a long time ago when everybody was AEW, and I told no, it's AEW versus ROH versus New Japan, NXT and TNA. AEW ain't got shit on WWE right now, but NXT and WWE are totally different. I would pick NXT just because there's more people I'm intrigued by in NXT than there is in AEW. After Cody and SCU and Moxley, there really ain't shit for me in AEW. I'm not a Young Bucks fan. I'm not a Kenny Omega fan. I'm not a Pac fan. And I'll be honest with you, the fans on social media and in real life have kind of made me way more NXT WWE versus AEW than I thought I would have been. Because, I mean, this is the fucking guy that talked his wife into going on their 11th wedding anniversary to Chicago last year for fucking All In. So it's not like I don't like the people that are over there, but
I know.
I just have more equity built in NXT and with the people of NXT than I do in AEW. If you take Cody out of AEW...
This is coming from a guy that posted a picture of fucking Chris Jericho invading a fucking independent show.
Which I thought was fantastic. All about it.
I mean,
but like I told Marty earlier, it's still Chris Jericho. I've been watching him for 25 years. There's no difference. There's nothing special about Chris Jericho now. Because he's in another company and because he gets to use 4-letter words now, it's still Chris Jericho. You know what I mean?
Same. And JP and I will always be on different levels when it comes to the Young Bucks because I appreciate them as a tag team, and he appreciates them as businesmen.
I'm more with JP on that.
Yeah.
And I fucking love the Bucks because they're the Bucks, and I can watch them do anything anytime.
And it's because you're a Rock and Roll Express too, aren't you, Marty? You're like the Rock and Roll Express guru. You probably love them growing up.
No, yeah. I actually never watched them growing up. That's
Marty,
before my
Marty
time.
liked the Rockers
I
more
ain't
than
that
the Rock
fucking
and Roll
old.
Express.
Fuck. Hey, look, I'm on that.
At that same indie show that Jericho showed up at, Ricky Morton showed up a couple weeks ago. Did you see me post that?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish up why I'm more excited about Wednesday nights is because, you know how I am with independent wrestling is you're gonna have Beyond Wrestling and Uncharted Territory going on Wednesday night again, and plus if somebody's smart like the ROHs and the Impacts and this, they're gonna try and find a TV deal that's a long-term deal that they may not get a whole lot of money up front with, but if they incentivize that shit and piggyback on that, like. So they're going to go head to head. Why not go for
you can count
2 hours
ROH out?
Huh? The problem there is ROH has fucked themselves up so far with their talent and what they've done with broadcasting that they are further behind on a TV deal than Impact is. And Impact's been on 5 channels in the last 2 years already.
So let me ask you this. I want to ask you this, Marty, because this is serious shit. Because people ask, and you edit this out. I don't give a shit. People ask JP and I's opinions when it comes to shit like this because we watched for so damn long, and we're West Coast dudes, right? So, West Coast pervy and West Coast look, as far as Ring of Honor. What makes you say that? As far as they fuck themselves, you know what I mean?
Just the way that the fact that they're not consistent with their shows and the fact that they're recording 6 months ahead of time and then slowly trickle them out, it's hard to follow their talent and what they're doing. And they have so much solid talent on there that they rather showcase people like the fucking Beer City Bruiser and Dalton Castle and the boys, who I know they're no longer together, but rather than, and then like a champion like Matt Taven, who has to force himself on screen to get things, but they're focused on other people. They do a lot of focusing on mid-tier and lower-tier talent than their top-tier talent. And that's what I've always noticed with Ring of Honor. With the exception of the Bucks and Cody and when they were there, but before and after that, you see more focus on their middle and lower-tier talent than you do their top-tier talent. Their matches, if you were to tune into a TV taping, you may have a segment and a match of their talent you want to watch, and then you're gonna see a lot of filler matches. And I get the WWE does the same shit, but it might be the fact that they have 3 hours to showcase this, where they have more people to do it with compared to an hour on Ring of Honor. But it's just, and then over time, it's they may have the same episode on for 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight that was recorded 6 months ago, and it's like, you give me consistency with your shows. Impact does the same thing. The only difference is I feel like Impact is on a rise right now, where Ring of Honor for the last 6 months and Supercard is on a downward slide.
Right on. That makes sense. And the other reason I asked too is because, do you think it's hard? Because just think how many people have been plucked at ROH in not only just the last 6 months, but the last year. It's been gutted. You've got the Briscoes. That's really.
And we talked about this 2 weeks ago about the Briscoes, and when you watch Ring of Honor, the Briscoes used to be a mainstay as to why you watched Ring of Honor, but now everything they got with God and the interaction with them and NWA and that they've had over the last 6 months, I don't even tune in to see what they're doing with Ring of Honor. I'm tuning in to see what Briscoes are doing with everybody else in the world. So even the Briscoes aren't bringing me over to Ring of Honor right now.
As far as the talent being plucked away, though, it's like any job in America. If I'm really good at my job that I'm doing right now, and a different company comes in and says, "Hey, you're really good. I want to pay you this much." It's my job's job to try to keep me. And ROH is not making it conducive to keeping people there. Nobody wants to stay in ROH. They want to go on to bigger and better things. Why? Because ROH isn't doing their part in making ROH. ROH should be the number 2 company in the country right now, and they're not. They're not. They're like 4 or 5.
A show who hasn't had their first TV show yet is blowing them out of the water. And a show that has had 2 different name changes and 4 different channel changes is
in the past 6 months.
Moment. The one thing I will say is that when you talk about the top talent that's left ROH, who's left in the last 6 or last? We'll go back to December because that's when people started leaving. We have Hangman. We have the Elite. We have the Bucks. We have Hangman Page. We have Cody. Other than that, Okay, I mean, we could talk about Martinez, but he wasn't a top tier talent. He was on his way, but not at top echelon, and he's in NXT now. But other than that, what big names have left Ring of Honor from their main stage roster?
The fans.
I'm gonna follow up your question with a question, and I don't mean to be like
no.
So why does Sean Spears? Why does Cody Rhodes? Why does Chris Jericho? Why does any one of those individuals collectively show up at different promotions throughout the United States, but none of them ever show up again at Ring of Honor? Why?
You got to talk to Sinclair about that, because it's
when they left.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't ROH and New Japan now, hadn't their relationship been kind of almost severed?
It's done.
Now whose fault is that? ROH also had a working relationship with Impact. That's no longer. Whose fault is that? ROH had a relationship with the Elite. They helped them do All In and all that, and now their relationship is over. The common denominator is ROH. So if you're going to blame somebody, you're going to blame ROH.
But it's not. Look, if you look at the main talent that's been running that organization for the last 3 years, they're all still there. Lethal, Taven, Briscoes, they're still there. The ones that have left were take away the Bucks, but the Bucks have always been a wild card to me, because to me, I've always felt the Bucks, even though they were in ROH, they were more of a New Japan talent than they were a Ring of Honor. And Ring of Honor was just the shows they went to when they came back stateside. So I don't consider them full blown Ring of Honor talent. I consider them like on loan. You know, it's same thing. It's like in soccer when you have somebody's on loan but their main team is here. But when all right, I'll go away from that one.
Soccer?
You really about to talk soccer?
Hey, good job, Marty. I'm with hey fist pump on that one, dude. I'm with you. He doesn't know he doesn't even know what on loan means.
Fist pump your fucking ass.
No, that Chocochallenge is gonna do that later for us.
I'm actually fine now. Like I'm good. I'm recovered. I'm
good now too.
Has anybody ever done round 2?
I was considering maybe another time doing a round 2, like on a bet. Not at this moment though, because I don't have any more milk. I took 4 glasses of milk.
That son bitch drank 2.5 gallons of milk.
Just so you know, and you got to tell JP this. All I had, quarter of a beer. That's it.
I may have fucking pounded a beer and then like had another half of one and had 3 glasses of milk, and that shit didn't go away. Not one bit. So.
Marty was so flustered that he actually tried to convince me that people eat bread when they eat really hot stuff, and he was drinking a wheat ale. Therefore, it should be the same thing, and the wheat ale should counteract the hot stuff. Yeah, it's got wheat in it. That's how flustered he was, and it had to be the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
No, pan blanco.
So. Another pre-show match for AEW's All Out.
White bread.
We got
his name. White bread.
We got private
party.
We got Private Party versus Angelico and Jack Evans. Jack Evans.
Oh shit! You're still doing the AEW card. I forgot. I should.
We haven't even got to the main card yet.
All right, let's run through this shit. We've been procrastinating like a
Private Party. Same way. This is one of their, I believe, Japanese matches, like one of the ones up from like that group from China that you're working with. I don't know if it's China or Japanese. Rio versus Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, give me that one.
Yeah, they're gonna go that route too because I don't know either one of them. I'm not even gonna try to act.
Fucking clue.
I think it's the only singles female match on the card, which is odd that they're the ones with the singles match.
They got Jazz to be in the Battle Royal.
Jazz is in the Battle Royal, correct. Yeah. So is Allie Impact. I love that.
Sadie Gibbs.
I can't wait to see her.
We got a 3-way match.
I really am excited about seeing her. I've never seen her wrestle before.
Just she's your favorite WWE Women's Champion. It's a spitting image of her.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, there's 11 other opponents that have yet to be announced too.
Oh, so there's gonna be some surprise